Sirhan Sirhan, the man convicted of assassinating Senator Robert F. Kennedy during a Los Angeles presidential campaign stop in 1968, was recommended for parole Friday in San Diego. Two commissioners of the California Board of Parole made their recommendation after a review of Sirhan's record while in prison and hearing from two of Kennedy's sons, according to the Associated Press. Here's what we know. The commissioner's decision is still subject to further review and, ultimately, final approval by the governor of California. That process could take up to 120 days. Sirhan, 77, was convicted of the murder in 1969 and sentenced to death. In 1972, the California Supreme Court ruled capital punishment to be unconstitutional, and Sirhan was resentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. The shooting occurred in the kitchen area of the Ambassador Hotel. Kennedy had just given a victory speech for winning California's Democratic presidential primary and looked likely to win the party's nomination. He and 5 other people were shot as they made their way through the hotel kitchen. Sirhan was tackled to the ground, gun in hand, moments after the shooting. But there have long been some people who have advanced alternate versions of what happened that night. One theory holds that Sirhan had been hypnotized or programmed to shoot Kennedy. Others think there were other shooters. Kennedy's son, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., told The Washington Post he doesn't think Sirhan killed his father. Paul Schrade, a labor leader who'd worked with Senator Kennedy, was also shot by Sirhan that night, but he believes Sirhan should be released. Sirhan did not shoot Robert Kennedy, Schrade, now 96, maintains. "I got the first shot, the second shot missed Kennedy." Schrade says unreliable ballistics evidence by the Los Angeles Police Department muddied the case, and as long as Sirhan is in prison, it will make it harder to identify the person who, in Schrade's opinion, really killed Kennedy. "Getting him out of the picture means that we have a better chance of making the case," Schrade says. "We can get the second gunman identified and convicted. The second gunman killed Robert Kennedy." But the parole board ruling is not intended as an endorsement of the second gunman theory. At the hearing, the Associated Press reported that Douglas Kennedy spoke about being moved by the remorse shown by Sirhan over his father's killing. "I'm overwhelmed just by being able to view Mr. Sirhan face to face," he said. "I think I've lived my life both in fear of him and his name in one way or another. And I am grateful today to see him as a human being worthy of compassion and love." Sirhan tried and failed to get parole 15 times before, with a last hearing in 2016. But this time around, there was no opposition from the new Los Angeles District Attorney, George Gascon, whose office has a policy of not weighing in against parole.